of the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got to vote. I've got to vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 7. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 23-yard run. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight end, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Jones now operating from the gun. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Now Jones over the middle, and it's incomplete. Levine Toilolo, the tight end, is intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys.
Greg Zuerlein lining up for the point.
And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
On the return, the Giants take over 1st and 10.
As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
That 2nd down play nets a -4. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Giants nothing.
On 3rd down, Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Daniel Jones sacks.
Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit? And he can't escape, and down he goes. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get it started in Philadelphia. The defending champs hosting Washington in an NFC East matchup. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. Carson Wentz lighting things.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Ballantyne to return. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Giants take over 1st and 10.
Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, and now it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return.
At their own 43-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Ryan Connolly on
a gain of 3, second down.
3-yard pickup. Brings up second and
they go to Elliott again.
46-yard line.
And some room to work. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlight.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Valentine to return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Giants take over first and 10.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Again, it's Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now Jones on 3rd down. They find some open field here. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Intercepted by
this spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Greg Zuerlein lining up for the
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fielded in the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. So this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6. At the 40
from the gun. Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards on the play. First down. Jones on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a